So, welcome back to part B, everyone. And as you basically ended up the last part, you all waked up from your little nightmare scenarios, I guess, for each and every single one of you. Not deep for all of you, but for some of you, it's some kind of a deep, not deep, like some kind of nightmare. Also, I'm hearing some things in the background. So, anybody have the thing all open, you can close it now. Anyway, so you all three in front of Ivres, or sitting in front of her in her, tea table, and she looks at you, kind of a little bit curious, kind of a little bit concerned, and she kind of like have her eyebrow up, and she kind of like, so, how did you end so deep in the dream dimensions? You were
Wait, what now?
You were sleeping very hard than normally.
We did battle a lot, and we're pretty tired, so
Yes, but normal dreams still doesn't go take you deep into the dimension of dreams that much.
Let me turn on my sensitivity.
So,
Alright, I'm back.
okay.
wait. What dimension?
You don't know what dimension is?
Do I?
Roll for me a wisdom check.
Flat wisdom.
Yes. Let's see how dumb you are. You're not dumb. You remember, she talked about it one time.
Oh, yeah, that. Okay.
The dimension of, like, she mentioned, like, a different alternative time that you maybe have died if you've gone for a certain mission. That one. So it's kind of like remind you of that. So it's like, oh, an alternative world. That's what it is, right? That's kind of like what comes to your mind.
No. Oh, yeah, that. Yeah. I kind of forgot.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you 100% understand what a dream dimension is, but it's still pretty important for you to understand the baseline. And she looks at like the two others cables and well, mundane. And again, so how did you find yourself so deep into the dream dimension? Did you wander off in your dreams, or what the hell happened? That's not something that normally should happen. Unless, of course,
I
someone's
was
trying to attack your minds.
not sure about those two, but I was just punching a door.
That's kind of weird. Well,
I don't like being ignored.
yeah, I noticed that. Well, you probably also wonder why only three of you are here, right? Not four, as usual. Right? Or you're kind of don't even want the answer for that one.
I want the answer.
Okay. Well, there's a pretty good reason why your friend Bobby didn't join you today. Because Bobby's mind is protected, unlike all of you.
Wait, what now?
He has a very specific thing that protects him from deep dreams like these, or invasions of the mind and such. You know him as Jeff. Apparently his little mechanical beetle is a gizmo that protects him from sleeping too deeply, or when the time of like your mind rests, and it's more the dream state is the most vulnerable time of the mind, because the mind rests and doesn't respond as it is normally. So he has Jeff to protect his mind, which is kind of interesting. I wonder where he found that kind of beetle and how the heck he was able to operate it. But regardless, it's just protect his mind. And that's the reason why he's not with you. today. Or tonight, I guess the more correct term for that.
Okay, that's some interesting news.
Well, do you have any other explanation for that?
I'd also like to know how we can go back.
What do you mean?
Will we wake up normally? Will we never wake up? How does that work?
Oh, you're not going to not wake up. It's not like that. Don't worry about it. You are going to wake up eventually, even if you are not going to wake from me specifically, or from me even sending you. Maybe even in like a few minutes for you here, somebody will just like, just tuck you over and just like basically wake you up. Your friend Bobby or your other friend that is with you, companion-wise. Because I know that you have another kind of person with you. Regardless, if you were in deep sleep and I wouldn't have been able to pull you out, then you would have been trapped for a very long time, maybe with no way to return. But this time I was able to pull you out. I'm not sure we'll be able to do that another time, but for now, you at least can take solace in that I was protected you one time, she says. And as you kind of like, hear that her say that, all of you notice that like the green mark she has kind of becomes a little bit bigger and getting very closer to her eye and getting like down to her chin even more, like down to almost like her chin, from her cheek to her chin. Anybody have?
Okay, much appreciated. Garlic is just looking at that mug and goes, I'm elbowing the guys. Say something, I don't want to say it.
K-Bolt, Mundane, you have anything else to add to this?
No, I'm good, honestly.
You don't have anything else to add for the fact that like she has a mark on her cheek that now grow bigger all of a sudden.
No.
Okay. K-Bolt.
No, I'm just gonna let it be.
Okay. You do hear some burning noises. Some kind of like noise when that's finished. And you see a little bit of smoke. Greenish smoke. Anyway, I want to talk with you a little bit. Is there some things that you, want to talk about, all of you? She looks at all of you, or things that you want to discuss from things you may have discovered? Or do you have any certain questions about stuff? That's also something I can do for you right now. I also want to talk with you about the situation that you were in, and maybe we'll be able to fill some places here and there. But for now, I want you to sit down and maybe we'll enjoy a little bit of a talk.
I have a question. How did you know about Eldritch?
I know many things. I'm not called the demon god.
You're really good at dodging questions, you know that?
One thing, I'm not known for being the title the demon goddess for nothing. You know that, right?
Still, you're really good at dodging questions. You know that?
Things that I'm not supposed to reveal I am very good at it. But if you must know, you have a friend that is not with you right now, but she's basically connected to, well, Roy a little bit more than you guys. So I'm able to see through
alright.
her a little bit. What are you
Okay, that explains a lot. How's she's doing, by the way?
She's fine. For now, it seems
Good.
like it. Not sure.
That's good to know.
Not sure what you guys are running into, but apparently you have a little bit of things to do. So,
Dad?
you have something to say, Gornak?
Yeah, things got a bit complicated.
I noticed. Especially, I can even read your minds if I want to, but I'm not going to do that. I think that's a little bit of
Yes, good.
She looks now at Mundane and is like, so, do you want to explain for me in your words what's happening up to now? That I should know about, and maybe give you a hand with?
To be honest, I don't know what's going on myself. A lot of fire, a lot of stuff.
I'm talking about in the reality of the real world. Is there something specifically that you're doing right now that maybe I can assist you in?
No, I kind of did everything I need to do. That's why that's why I took a nap. I was sleeping.
You
Where-
look at her, and it's like, wait, I want you to roll for me a wisdom check.
A wisdom check. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You kind of like, in your mind, it's kind of like, wait, she's also a demon. Nah, never mind. That's kind of come up in your mind. It's like, oh, she's a demon. Maybe she can help us. No, never mind. Kind of like your thought is getting cut in the middle, and like, nah. I think we can make it without her. That's what you think to yourself.
Yeah, I would think to myself that normally. So yeah.
Fair enough. Then she looks at Cable and is like, well, that was interesting to see that you're not exactly from here, apparently. Cable, is there something specifically you respond to that she says that you're not exactly from here?
Yep. It's strange, but then again, where do we all really come from?
That's a good question. Well, you're not the only one that is not from this world, so you don't really need to worry about it that much. It's pretty interesting and strange, though. You were concerned about stones. I don't really know what kind of stones they are, but these are looking very familiar to the stone pieces from the big magical stone in the middle of the world when it shattered. So, you might have a connection somewhere there. Maybe you should look it up if you're able to ever find a fragment of one of these stones. But, yeah. So, is there anything else you want to ask me? Because I'm very interested in hearing some pretty interesting stuff from you all. You're a very interesting bunch all the time. I'll take that silence as a no, that you don't really need to share with me or ask me anything. That is fair. We have met pretty recently regardless, so... Well, she kind of like looks at you again, it's like, well, you're more than welcome to finish your tea, and I will send you on your way if you want to go back home. To your bodies, I guess. go. And if you want you guys to go, just say one of you just say like we want to go, like go home or finish this. So, what do you guys want to do? Are you?
So you're a demon,
Yes.
and we might be facing some demons in the near future.
What kind of demons? Do you know what kind? What class?
I was hoping you'd give me that info.
Well, you haven't met these demons, so I cannot really tell you about them that much. But that's
All we know is that they read minds and they change dwarves into machines. Like, Elvish is literally
not exactly
a machine.
machine, like turning them into a machine. It's just like they kind of like experimented on him, so that's why he's like that. Experimented on him with magic and what are called golem stuff. That's kind of like what you get from this, but it's not exactly. She kind of like thinks for a second, is like, well, it's definitely going to be a smarter breed of demons if that's the case. Probably not even a powerful one that you have to deal with. Maybe powerful for you, because if those demons are not like actually announced that they're around, then these are supposed to be demons that are, well, not really that organized. Like, what would I say? Like, not that brutish. You might actually not even dealing with demons and actually with devils instead, and people make the mix-up, she says. Because there sounds like this village is organized rather than being in chaos, correct?
Yes, it is.
So, devils are more to order, and, well, the demons are to chaos. So it makes more sense that you might actually be dealing with devils, and that is a completely understandable thing that mortal races makes mix-ups between devils and demons, but like I said, it's probably devils instead of demons. I think that makes more sense. Because they're more organized. Either you're dealing with the more interestingly smart and intelligent demons, which is for some reason I don't think that's possible, because otherwise, well, I would have felt something. Or you're dealing with weaker devils. They're still going to be very powerful for you, but they're devils, so I'm pretty sure you can take care of them, or able to deal with them. You're pretty chaotic of a group for them to expect, so you should have a very good time dealing with them, I think. It shouldn't be that hard. Maybe still hard, but not that hard.
Any advice on how to proceed?
Well, it depends of what kind of devils you're dealing with, but the point is, what is your kind of current plan that you want to execute? Explain that to me, and then we'll think about something.
Okay, so we proceed to... Gorgnek proceeds to explain the current plan of evacuating and going from there with punching people.
Well, that's not... I'm not sure that will be enough. It's a start, but you might need to be a little bit more either unexpected or more crafty than that. Devils are, like I said, organized. They could be very expected of some particular situations, especially the intelligent ones. Now, I'm pretty sure you're dealing with a weaker bunch of devils, otherwise, again, they will reveal themselves a little bit more, because even the devils which are organized, a lot of people, or should I say, not people, but races, are very arrogant when you're talking about power. Devils and demons are not exceptions. So, you're dealing with a weaker bunch of demons, or devils. And I'm not really sure what kind, but devils are tends to be, well, not really in favor of good magic spells. Let's just say that. They hate them. They hate holy magic. They're not exactly like undead, though. Just give me a second.
Gorgnek starts cracking his knuckles. Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
Oh. Here it is. Well, devils are weak to silver. Silver, if you have anything that involves silver, she said that she kind of like, out of the air, she kind of like create a book, and she kind of like open it, and she says, well, it looks from here that devils are kind of more weaker to silver. I know that demons are more weak to cold iron, but, well, demons are more weaker to silver, and they're a little bit more immune to fire, if not even immune completely to fire. With demons, they're immune to lightnings, and they're weak to cold iron. And this, I'm going to say this right now, if for some people it's like a little weird that they're watching, this is in this universe, basically. So, that's how that works for us, at least for the moment. So, if you want to deal with devils, try to find a little bit of silver. If you don't have one yourself, they might going to make it very hard for you to find silver, but you at least know what you're dealing with. So I recommend to maybe look around in the shop areas and essentially look if you're, well, dealing with devils or demons, depending on the iron, cold iron, or lack of silver that there is in that shopping area, because they will try to not keep their weakness around them. And then you will know what kind of magics that you can do with them. Like I said, divine magic might have a little bit of its own favors, but, well, devils are immune to fire, and demons are immune to lightning. That's the only thing I can give you for now, because we don't really know what kind of demons or devils you're dealing with. So, that's unfortunately what I can give you. I hope that's helpful enough.
Yes, thank you.
Now, one thing I would say again, try to overcome them by outsmarting them, and try to keep under the radar as much as possible with them and out of their way. One thing that all demons and devils have in common is that they're all very charming, which she meant to say that their charisma stats are very, very high. So they might be even able to pick up on the fact that you were kind of like trying to deceive them a little bit more easier than other mortal races or mortal races. So be careful and try to keep your interactions to a minimum and as much as secretive as possible if they have eyes everywhere, as you said. And I assume you said that because you said to her the entire plan. So I'm pretty sure you mentioned that. She kind of look at Mundane and Cable and just asked them, well, she looks at Cable and says, like, well, you are kind of a very interesting one to deal with demons, because you are also kind of immune to lightning. But if you're dealing with, well, devils, you will not be that immune. Just going to say that out there, because that's their favorite types of energies. Devils like more fire, demons like more lightning, just like I do, she says, as she kind of like creating a small lightning bolt in her hand. And just let it dissipate afterwards. And then she looks at Cable and is like, don't worry, I'll send you to your duck very soon.
That's technically not his duck.
Yeah. Your friends
Nah, it is my duck.
Your friends have been very quiet for some reason. I would like to hear them a little bit more from time to time.
They tend to do that. Make me do all the talking.
Well, you should sometime try to let them talk. Force them to talk. That can be kind of fun, don't you think? And you kind of like looks like she kind of like looks. Well, she looks like a little bit of giving you a little bit of a psychopath look in a way, but not exactly. I don't know.
So maybe I'll go inside and make us some tea. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
She looks a little bit dissatisfied. Well, it's a shame that this little meeting of ours have to come to an end. She kind of like looks at all of you. But hey, at the very least, you know what you dealt with. Somebody tried to attack your mind. Could be these demons that you're dealing with, or devils that already know about your existence. But I doubt that those people are responsible for that. God. Tongue twister. I don't know. It could be an attack on your minds. It could have been just a coincidence, for all I know. But at least you're safe for now. Please don't try to go deep again and try to fight it for next time. She said as she moved her hand on her scar. I'd rather not get a bigger, well, problem on my skin, she says. But now, off you go, she said as she kind of like clap her fingers and kind of like a gateway open for you. You three can go home now to your bodies. Or, well, stay here a little bit if you wish.
Gorgnak is running to the portal and screams, "No promises!"
What about the two
And he
demons?
disappears.
I suppose I shall slowly, nonchalantly head towards it.
And K-Bolt?
I'll do it with confidence.
You kind of like look at all of three of you kind of like leaving. Ouch. My ear. She kind of like look at all the three of you leaving, and then she kind of like grunt a little bit. But with a smile. And the portal basically closed behind all of you, and you all wake up in the same place that you basically slept. It's a little bit earlier than you expected to wake up, but you woke up, all of you. Bobby and Eldritch still asleep, though. But for some reason, there's somebody that's been on the guard for you all. Oh wait, he's not here. Haha, I'm kidding. Anyway, you all wake up and you look around you. Everything looks like it's back to normal. Nothing is different. What are you all planning to do right now?
I am trying to look around and look for the big wolf guy, man.
Oh,
God.
he's there. Kind of also sleeping, but not exactly. Looks like he's resting and looking at all of you. With half an eye open.
I am looking at him. He's very sus.
Okay. He kind of opening his eye, and kind of like looks at you. And then stops and closes his eyes completely. So, what are you all doing? I'm going to ask this again. I want to expect answers from all of you, not just one person.
I personally don't know what to do.
earlier than expected, and you're still in the same place that you were before. But, like, you see everybody else that is not you three resting or sleeping, and, well, you're still in this so called grove that you're able to maybe go around, maybe explore a little bit. So, you have things to do. You still have time until everybody wakes up. So I'm interested to know what you will be doing.
Guess I'm exploring then.
Okay. Investigation, I guess. Or nature check, I'm not sure. Well, this grove looks a little bit more familiar than you actually realize because there are some kind of similar trees to the trees that you have in your own small forest in your brain, basically, or when you slept. It's kind of like some of them looks a little bit familiar, so you kind of like, maybe some of these are kind of like were a fruit of my imagination, and everything was just wasn't really like an actual serious dream. That's what kind of like you feel to yourself at the start, until you look at the Ivres and kind of like asking yourself, I wonder if all of them slept felt the same dream. But you're not saying anything
Okay.
out loud. At least not
No,
for now.
don't really know what to do with this information, so
What about you, K-Bolt?
Okay, so I'm pretty much just going to wait for a little bit and then just like keep on analyzing the situation to see if I could come up with a good idea
Good idea for what?
for just how to proceed.
Well, you kind of just remember a little bit of like your past. Not your past in this life, past in your previous one. You remember you had things to do, but, well, your mind is back to your normal self, so you don't remember exactly what you were supposed to do. But you do remember that this is kind of like a little bit of a noble mission that you're trying to do to help people. It's not like just mission to collect stuff. That's what you remember. You just don't remember what exactly it is. You have a little bit of a vaguer memory for some reason. As you look around, you see your two friends that you've seen in your dreams, and you kind of like, did they dream the same thing? Just like mundane, kind of like thinking is his brain, but you're not again saying it out loud to anybody. And lastly, what is Gorgnak doing?
Grognak is still eyeing the wolf god beast man.
Okay.
He's looking at him very intensively.
Is there a reason for it?
He's very sus. He was the only person there with any kind of power that could conflict and do stuff in the dream thing.
So finally, Astronac.
Basically, Gorgnak is expecting him to double cross us.
Yeah. So finally, Astronac is opening up his eyes completely and stands up and kind of like, stretches a little bit, and it's kind of like looks at Gorgnak and is like, you hear it like, him saying is like, is there a reason why you're eyeing me? And then he's looking at all the three of you. It looks like you all slept and waked a little bit earlier than your other friends. Nothing to say about that.
Okay, we're going to check how smooth Gorgnak is. Yes, you have such beautiful fur. I would love to know how you take care of it.
What are you rolling for it? Deception?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And he kind of like looks at you and is like, but it's like, he looks like he want to go with it. He's rolling with it. It's like he's taking, he kind of like, you feel like in his mind he's just take the compliment. That's what he's saying to himself. It's like he's kind of like looks in his face like, yeah, well, you have to maintain your dignity when you're a spirit, a very important spirit of nature. Mundane, roll for me a nature check. You never heard of him before, but he thinks he's a big deal. You never heard of Astronaut before, but he thinks he's something very special. I mean, he could be right, he could be wrong. You're never really paid too much attention in the spiritual stuff in your druidic studies. You were interested in more of the wildfire. So that's why. But anywho, he kind of like looks at you, Gorgnak, and is like saying, are you feeling well? It looks like you're kind of like slept poorly. Anybody going to respond to him? Hello?
What now?
Are you going to respond to him asking, like, did you sleep well? Because it looks like you kind of didn't.
I had a little nightmare, but everything is fine now.
Whoops, I almost fell off the chair. Anyway, you have a little bit of a nightmare. What kind of nightmare?
Before Christmas.
Do you even know what a Christmas is? Anyway.
I don't know.
Anyway, you kind of like, he looks at you, and then he just like,
I might.
Christmas doesn't exist in this
Alright.
world. It's a different name, or a different thing. You don't really have the same holidays here as a different thing. You just like, broke the fourth wall now. Well, regardless, he kind of like looks at you and is like, well, if you guys need to replenish your strength a little bit, there is a little bit of, not a little bit, like you have a little fountain, or should I say, small lake at inside of the grove, as he says, and kind of like, you see him kind of, I wouldn't say disappear, but start stepping away from the place that you met him, a little backwards where you kind of like came in for. And he starts to disappear, and says at the end of it, oh, we'll come back later. In a few hours. What are you guys doing? You have anything else to do?
I need to pee.
Well, that's an interesting one. But,
Well, Gordon just goes into the bushes and
yeah.
relieves himself.
Well, after that, Gorgnak, take a look a little bit of your medallion, and you're kind of just saying to yourself, well, was an interesting adventure. And it's like the medallion shines, and as you all prepare for the morning, you all kind of just start to dress up, organize yourself, and Bobby and Eldritch start to wake up, and you start going over the plan once over again, as you are going to in the next session. But as we wrap everything up for this little small thing, that was interestingly fun. A little bit in the distant, not in the place that you can see in your eyes, in a little bit of a horizon somewhere else, somewhere that you were before, which is the Water Temple. There were few figures that still came back there, and those are the Order of the Twilight Star, Mercy and Might, as well as the little girl that you fought. All of them stand inside of the waters with the staff in hand of one of the beings there. And it's a shadowy figure that just says the following, as you kind of like, we're going to wrap this up. I will call that little test run a success, he says, as he kind of like looks at the visions of you all in the pool of water. And now, we will begin. And that's where we're going to end this session. A little bit of a vague thing for the future, maybe. We don't know what the Order of the Twilight Star is going to do, but they're going to do something. And they definitely messed with your minds, but you don't know that, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, hope you all have enjoyed this part. A little bit of a different one, probably wasn't like as vibrant as like normal episodes, but sometimes we need to experiment and go over our, normal realms of, what are called, storytelling. And essentially do things that we don't expect and sometimes not even plan for. It's kind of an interesting thing to do sometimes, and hopefully we'll be better for it in the future. Like I said, this episode was kind of more of like a test run for things in the future, which we need to still work on. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So hope you enjoyed all, even if it was a little bit different. Hope you all players have enjoyed as well. But, yeah, see you all next time. Bye-bye.